To prove that cats can't die from falling, this cat jumped from a high building. As expected, he died. In his second life, to prove that cats are stronger than humans, he was crushed by a 500-pound barbell. In his third life, to prove that cannons are the fastest mode of transport, he was blown up to pieces. But no matter how he abused himself, even being burned to ashes, he always resurrected in perfect condition the next day. One day, while robbing the governor's mansion, he used a bunch of fireworks as weapons, and accidentally woke up a long dormant giant in the forest. Although he ultimately defeated the giant using his agility, and became a hero in the eyes of the villagers, his luck was terrible. When he woke up again, he found himself in a hospital. The doctor wanted to check on him, but Puss thought it was unnecessary because he was a cat with 9 lives. But the doctor told him,
"That makes 8, Puss. You are down to your last life."
Puss was in disbelief. The doctor then gave him the address of a cat shelter, hoping he'd go there to live out his remaining days. His pride wouldn't allow him to live like a regular cat. At night, while drinking at a bar, the candle above his head suddenly went out. The next moment, a cloaked wolf appeared beside him. He placed a wanted poster on the table. Seeing the information on it, Puss thought he was a bounty hunter. He tried to end the fight quickly, as he always did, but this time, his opponent was terrifyingly strong. He touched his forehead and looked at the blood on his hand. The fur on his body exploded with fear. Seeing him scared, Death decided to humiliate him.
Pick it up.
Puss, unable to even summon the courage to grab his sword, immediately fled. By the time Death caught up, Puss had already escaped through the filthy sewers. This experience made Puss truly feel fear for the first time. So he buried his gear and went to the cat shelter as the doctor had suggested, deciding to waste away his remaining life there. But by chance, he overheard a group of thieves talking. They mentioned that there was a map in the wizard Horner's house that led to the wishing star, which could grant any wish. In order to get his 8 lost lives back, Puss decided to take one last gamble. At night, he quietly snuck into Horner's castle and found a chest in his room. Inside was the map. But to his surprise, there was a person in the chest, his ex-girlfriend, Kitty. Just as they were fighting over the map, the thieves showed up, and Horner discovered Puss. Then the 4 factions erupted into a fierce battle. In the chaos, Puss escaped with Kitty. But just then, Death, the one who almost killed him, showed up again. After they escaped, Puss and Kitty temporarily put aside their differences and followed the map to the legendary Dark Forest. When Puss touched the map, the path ahead turned into one filled with lava. When Kitty touched the map, it became a poisonous swamp. Finally, when Perito touched the map, the path turned into one lined with flowers. So they decided to let Perito guide them with the map. Soon, Horner and his men caught up. They captured Perito and used him to force Puss to hand over the map. To their surprise, the thieves showed up at the same time. The 3 factions fought once again. In the chaos, the map fell in front of Puss. Just as he was about to pick it up, the eerie sound of a whistle echoed. Seeing Death approach again, Puss fled in terror. The map was seized by the girl. Though Puss and Kitty, through their perfect coordination, managed to get the map back from the girl, Perito was captured as a hostage. Puss tried to use the map to change the terrain, but suddenly, a crystal maze rose from the ground, trapping him inside. Kitty had no choice but to go alone to rescue Perito. While trapped, Puss saw the 8 lives he had lost. They appeared like ghosts in the crystal, urging him to abandon his companions. This way, he could get his 8 lives back. Just as Puss hesitated, Death found him again. He shattered all the crystals and advanced toward Puss step by step. He was fed up with Puss wasting his lives.
So, why don't I do us both a favor and take this last one now?
Puss quickly turned and ran. When he reached the depths of the forest, the giant wishing star appeared beneath him. He immediately jumped into the canyon and stood in the middle of the wishing star. Now he could make any wish by reciting the curse on the map. Just as he was about to wish for his 8 lives back, Kitty appeared in front of him. Disappointed, she had had enough of Puss's betrayals. Watching his love walk away, Puss couldn't help but tell the truth.
Kitty! Death is after me!
What?
But just as he finished speaking, Death appeared again. Wielding his scythe, he trapped Puss with 2 barriers. At that moment, Puss faced the ultimate choice: make a wish for his lives back, or fight Death to the death. As he recalled the moments with Kitty and Perito, he made his final decision.
Just one. I'm done running.
He discarded the map and grabbed his weapons to challenge Death. At that moment, Puss rediscovered his former courage. He pushed his speed and strength to the limit, even gaining the upper hand for a while.
Yeah.
But this only excited Death further. He combined both scythes, unleashing even more incredible power. Puss's sword was knocked away, but in the nick of time, he used the dagger Kitty had given him to block a lethal blow. Then he wielded 2 weapons and beat Death to the point where it had no chance to fight back. Even chopped off his weapon, Puss leapt into the air and unleashed his special move. He kicked the scythe in front of Death, just like Death had humiliated him before. Though Puss knew Death couldn't be killed, he had decided to resist with all his might. When death approached, no matter how much killing intent he released, he couldn't sense any fear from Puss. Eventually, death gave up, because the one he wanted to kill was a cat who had become arrogant due to having 9 lives. But now, Puss was no longer that cat.
Live your life, Pussy Moods. Live it well.
When death left, Puss decided to give the wish opportunity to Kitty, but suddenly, Horner reappeared and snatched the map. He wanted to use the wish to gain the power to rule the world. In a desperate moment, Puss teamed up with the thieves to recover the map and completely destroyed it. Since the map was destroyed, the wishing star was also shattered. After Puss and the others escaped, Horner was consumed by the wishing star. Then, the wishing star rose into the night sky and exploded into a magnificent firework. Under the fireworks, Puss made a wish to spend the rest of his life with Kitty and Perito. But this wish didn't need the power of the wishing star. It was something they could achieve on their own. So, someone who has too much often loses themselves in the pursuit of more. But now, he had finally found something worth cherishing infinitely in his limited life.